1019 RXP, it's Matt Pinfield and Leslie Fram, The Rock Show, here with one of my favorite singers, Liam Gallagher. Liam,
yes, man.
Great to have you here, man.
Oh, it's nice to be back, man, in New York. I love New York. It's good to be here, man.
Yeah, and you look fantastic. And I wanted to ask you about Pretty Green, which is your new clothing line.
Yeah.
You know, I love it because it's named after a Jam song, which is I Love the Jam, and I know you love Paul Weller and the Jam as well. Tell me about deciding to call it Pretty Green.
Pretty Green, just... You know, we were doing it, it wasn't sort of sitting there going, right, when the band splits up, we're going to make clothes. We were doing it before this band sort of imploded. We were sitting, we had a couple of days off in LA, me and a friend, and we were just sitting about, and we went, you know, let's go. So, you know, he said, do you want to make some clothes? You ever thought making your own clothes? I said, not really, no. Too busy being a rock star and that. So then he put me in touch with a guy that's been doing it for years, and we started. It just started off with shoes, really, you know what I mean? Because I was down to my last favourite pair of suede shoes, so we started with that. And it just sort of happened, you know, T-shirts, jumpers, jackets, clothes, hats, all sorts.
I mean, you always look great anyway. I mean, you've always, as far as I'm concerned, been very stylish, you know, so...
Well, clothes, man, you know what I mean? It's important as far as I'm concerned, you know what I mean? You can have a good song, but if you look like a knobhead, then it doesn't work in my book, you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, there's so much synergy between, you know, music and fashion. And did you have an inspiration, like, you know, was it like early mod years or?
It's all that stuff. I mean, I don't, you know, I'm a bit of a mod, but I don't sleep with a scooter or anything. I'm not like, you know, there's serious mods out there, but like the late 60s, you know, the Stones with Brian Jones, the Small Faces, the Who, the Kinks, all that kind of era, you know what I mean? There was a period where music and fashion just, you know, come together and everyone looked cool and everyone sounded cool.
Yeah. All the cool models, too, from the 60s that were from the UK were amazing.
Yeah. There you go.
Jeannie shrimped into Twiggy to, like, you know, everybody in particular was great, you know.
It was a good era, so we just chat. I mean, the clothes that we're doing, it's all been done before. We're not doing anything new, you know what I mean? But the quality of it's cool and... You know, you know, if people dig it, they dig it. If they don't, they don't. You know what I mean? I'm not going to put a gun to people's head to buy it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And we're talking to Liam Gallagher right now. Now, Liam, named after a Jam song from the album Sound Effects that we both love, obviously. And what was Weller's reaction when you told him that you were doing a?
He was into it, man.
Yeah,
he was really into it. You know, Weller's another one who's always looked cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think he sort of like, you know, he likes that stuff when you get you know recognition and that.
Yeah, because he took his nod from the mods as well. I mean,
so yeah, he's in it. Maybe give me some clothes. Still waiting for the check in the post.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now you had sort of a decision in helping to design this. I mean, was it in your head? Did you sit there and draw anything out, Liam?
No, I'm not like that, man. I sort of just go through the old wardrobe. You know what I mean? Anything that's looking a bit tatty, I sort of revamp. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, I'm not the guy that I'm doing it with, Nick Holland. He's been doing it since it's a family business. They've been doing it since he was about 5. You know what I mean? So he comes in with the material, and we sort of just tweak it a bit. You know what I mean? I don't sit around sewing buttons and stuff like that.
Do you think that Matt Pinfield would look good
in Pretty Green?
In Pretty Green, yeah.
Anyone look Pretty Green? Anyone look cool in Pretty Green, man?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
mod you up, baby.
Hey, listen. You know what? You know how much I love all that British music from the 60s.
Oh my God, I'm fascinated.
And I love Liam and Oasis, and let's face it, that stuff is great, and the Jam. Hey, Liam, so let's talk about the new project, because obviously, you know, you and your brother split up, and you guys...
We finally knocked it on the head, man, which is... it's a shame at the time, but because I felt we had records still left in us, but if we don't get on, you don't get on, and you know what I mean? And that's it, you know what I mean? But, you know, he'll go and do his thing, and we'll do our thing, and I reckon it'll be an exciting time for music. Worldwide, you know what I mean? Let alone just England. I think Noel's record will be good and ours will be better.
Yeah.
So we'll still be at it with each other, but not in the same room.
Yeah, I think it's great because you're going to be writing, of course, and have written with Andy Bell and Gem, two guys who've been in Oasis.
Mega musicians, man. People, you know, obviously Andy with Ride and stuff. People know him. Gem with Heavy Stereo, but them two are.
Yeah.
They're on fire at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, I love the fact that Heavy Stereo were very influenced kind of by at that time, T-Rex and
T-Rex,
Bowie and, you know, that kind of Roxy music.
There's a bit of that on there, man. I tell you, there's a good mix.
And then, you know...
psychedelia, but there's still, you know, rock and roll tunes on there.
And what about the stuff now that Andy switched to playing guitar with you? Tell me about how that's going.
Mega, man. He thinks he's Jimi Hendrix at the moment.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. But no, it's good, man. It's a good mix. So the record, I'm really excited about it. We're going to record it about halfway through April. Got 3 weeks to do some tunes, see if the producer doesn't muck it up.
Yeah, have you decided who you're going to work with?
Yeah, but I'm going to keep it stum and that. But yeah, so we're going with him.
Yeah.
See what happens, and then if it's all cool, we go back in June and finish it off. You know what I mean?
That'd be great.
Yeah.
And what about coming to the US to play? Actually,
Definitely. Well, we've got some Oasis stuff that we've got to tie up first. I think there's like they're putting out. The label's putting out some collection and that of all the singles, which I'm proud of and all, you know what I mean? So we'll wait until that's finished.
Yeah.
And then maybe have a single out towards the end of the year and get some gigs done and maybe put our album out the following year.
I think it's fantastic. Speaking of which, you know, I've talked to Leslie about this. I love your singles so much, besides the albums, but I would look forward to every one of those EPs coming out for all the songs.
It's coming, man.
You know, and that box, I used to have those 2 cigarette box sets I got, as well as the ones that I bought singularly. Yeah. But those tracks are great. So, is that one of the things you'll be doing as well with your new band? Is making sure like there's a lot of output and you're writing prolifically?
Oh yeah, I mean I think that the problem with Oasis towards the end, we weren't writing B-sides anymore. You know what I mean? And that's what we were known for. We'd always have a good selection of B-sides, and this is what we plan on doing, man.
Yeah.
None of that remixes or live, I mean, the odd live one every now and again, but we'll be definitely putting out a lot of B-sides. We're going to start again like what Oasis was, you know what I mean? I think that's the benchmark of it.
Absolutely. I know guys like me are really pumped up about that.
Yeah, no, it's going to be good, man.
Yeah.
We're talking to Liam Gallagher. Liam, do you have a period of music or a period where you were the most proud of stuff that you had written personally?
I didn't write that much, so I've only started writing songs, but...
Like Little James and Songbird and stuff.
I mean, the last tune I wrote was called Out of Time, which I thought was pretty cool. Songbird was cool. Little James was just... That shouldn't have been on an Oasis record, but it was a personal thing, really, but...
Well, it was about your son, so...
Yeah.
So, that, I mean, at the moment, I think it's so exuberant when you have a new kid and it's your child, you know?
Yeah, but... He wasn't having it anymore, you know, he was all right.
Yeah. No,
but I'm excited about the new songs, man. It surprised a few people.
Yeah, we are totally pumped about that. I loved at the Brit Awards.
Well, I was excited about the whole. You know, I love Noel's songs. I love singing his songs. So the whole Oasis thing was cool for me, man.
Oh, listen, those songs are fantastic. I put them up against any rock songs from any era, as far as I'm concerned.
I mean, is there, you know, your fans, Oasis fans who love you and, you know, love Noel, love you guys to death. Are you guys speaking at the moment?
Not really, no. Which is a shame because we're brothers, but you know, it's a big, you know, it's a big thing for me and him splitting up. You know what I mean? Like people can laugh it off and all that tackle, but you know, it's sad when 2 family members, whether you're in a band or not, don't get on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think we'll speak at some point.
How's your mom taking this? Does she see this something?
She thinks we're stupid, doesn't she? You know, she just wants.
Yeah.
Does she try to, like, as moms do, try to put you back together?
She's just like, get over yourself. You know what I mean? You just think, you know, you're just in a band. You know what I mean? You're not curing cancer or anything. We're making music. You know what I mean? It's just,
yeah.
She just thinks we're stupid.
Yeah.
Probably right.
Yeah, and your I'm sure your mom is like the one person who's never afraid to tell you and Noel what she thinks. You know what I mean? Like she'll always shut you guys down because she loves you both. But you know it's that thing, you know.
Listen, we'll probably chat at some point, but at the moment, nah, he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing. You know what I mean? I've just got off the road with him. We only split up in August, so I've had enough of him for a bit. I'm sure he feels the same way.
There's that old phrase, you know, time heals all wounds.
And it's true, and it's also the brother thing, the sibling. You know, you've been growing up together in the same rooms for, you know, all those years as well. I mean, that's true. Now, the other thing I wanted to ask about, Liam, is the Brit Awards. I saw the other albums that were nominated. Of course, Urban Hymns was a great record.
Record.
I know how much you love Richard and you're friends with him. And but, I mean, I thought Morning Glory was deservedly won that award of the past.
I do, yeah, without a doubt, man. You know. It was, you know, it's not just because it sold loads. I think it changed a lot of kids' heads at the time, you know what I mean? It was an important record to people in England, you know what I mean? So, more so than Phil Collins, bless him. But that's life, you know what I mean? I think we deserve to win it, and yeah, there you go.
I've got to talk to you about your love for the Beatles because, you know, as a kid, I have just been, like, over the top my whole life about, you know, Paul and John especially. Where were you when John passed away?
I was...
Did that? You were probably just a kid, but
I was 8.
Do you remember the way it affected you and people in Manchester?
I'll tell you what, it didn't. You know, I was just a kid, man, just playing with a ball. I didn't even know who the Beatles were, to be quite honest. You know what I mean? My mum and dad were never big Beatle fans, but I remember hearing Imagine round about that Christmas time and stuff, and that tune freaks me out a bit every time I hear it. So I wasn't really affected by it that way. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you got into the Beatles at what age?
I got into Beatles. I got into music like when I was about 18. I was a bit into football. You know what I mean? So I got in late on, but when I got in big. You know what I mean? I'm John Lennon's the man for me, you know what I mean?
No, absolutely. So you're a City fan, right? Or
I'm a City fan, yeah.
Manchester City as opposed to United, right?
Yeah.
I remember having Nolan Bonehead on 120 Minutes with me, and actually we brought up Manchester.
Yeah, one of them's a red and blue,
right. So they were so near brawl that day over that on the air, which was pretty cool. It was really funny.
Yeah, it's good fun, man.
I got a kick out of that actually. So Liam, tell me some of your other favorite records, some of the things that you love, and once you discovered music at 18, besides the Beatles, what were you listening to?
Right, well, obviously a Manchester thing I got into music through the Manchester thing, which was the Stone Roses, the Happy Mondays, and obviously I know I was a big Smiths fan. So I sort of went back through his collection, really, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then that opened doors up, the Kinks, the Who, all sorts, Hendrix, Neil Young, you know what I mean? The Pistols, our kid was a big Pistols fan.
Yeah.
Smiths and stuff like that, so yeah, lots.
What was your first concert?
This concert I went to was a Stone Roses, and it was in, where was it? It was in Manchester, the International one, and we had no money at that time, and I borrowed some money off my mum to go and see this band, and that was it. It blew my mind, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I mean...
I had one big fat joint ready to get in. I bought a ticket for 15 quid, lit this joint up, went down to the front of the stage, seen this band, and they blew my mind off.
Yeah.
I thought I could do that. And it wasn't... They were dressed like us, you know what I mean? They weren't dressed as like your typical rock stars, leather jacket, they weren't Guns N' Roses or anything. They just looked like lads who, were into music, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and they made
football kind of stuff, that casual thing. So I thought, we could do this, man.
And that first album is just one of the greats, too, isn't it?
Fun, man.
And I mean, are you blown away sometimes when you think about the legacy of great music from Manchester? I mean, Manchester, where you're from.
Yeah,
it's been so many. I mean, whether it's
at the Hollies, man.
The Hollies. I was just going to say the Hollies, Buzzcocks. The
Buzzcocks had sort. Even the early Bee Gees, they were from there, like.
Yeah. So they
top bands, man. There's not been much since Oasis.
No, there really hasn't been. I will say that.
There's a few things knocking about, but not that much.
Have you heard anything over in Britain lately that you like at all? Is there any band or American that you said, "Oh, that's pretty good. I'll check that out"?
Not really, man. I mean, there's a band called Kasabian. You probably know them and that.
We know Kasabian, yeah.
Yeah. In fact, Serge married the girl who used to work at K-Rock here.
Right.
She's very cool. Stephanie. You know that one? Yeah.
Right.
So I know Stephanie. Well, she worked with me at K-Rock, and I remember when she met Serge.
They're the top band, man. Love them. The Arctic Monkeys are all right. There's a few good bands, but I mean, there's a lot of bands, but they're just making fast food music, man. There's nothing, it's not digesting well. They're not making albums, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree.
You hear it on the radio and you go, that's a cool tune. You go and buy the albums, and it's just...
We love that you're outspoken and you say what's on your mind. It's the only way to say it.
I agree. What about the U2 comment you made recently about the one about the U2 thing with the...
You've never met a U2 fan?
Never. I've never met any.
Yeah. And I thought one of the other funny things...
Not that I want to.
Yeah.
I don't walk around the streets going, you U2, give me some U2 fan. I don't. But listen, I've met Bono before, and he's a geezer and that, but someone asked me about fashion and that, and who do you think... And there's a lot of bands out there styled and that, and you can see them a mile off like Coldplay, you know what I mean? And they don't buy their own clothes.
Yeah.
And they should. They should buy Pretty Green.
What about Coldplay?
Coldplay, what about them?
Do you like Coldplay?
All right.
Just okay.
All right. They don't do it for me that much. They're not rock and roll enough, man.
Yeah.
They're all right. They live all round the corner from me, so I don't say too much.
They're neighbours.
They used to come round and, give me a paper cut or something.
You still go out and hang out at the local pubs, right? And
do all that, yeah. I don't go out to clubs anymore. You get into trouble and that, but yeah, man, where I live in Hampstead is beautiful, you know what I mean? It's like big park and that. Just walk around with the kids and that and don't go out that much, calm down a bit.
Yeah, I mean, well, you had your phase. I remember you guys, especially when you were thinking about the first couple U.S. tours. I mean, you guys were going wild. You guys exploded. I mean,
that's right. You meant to do that.
You got to do it,
because you don't know if it's going to last or not. You don't know if you're going to come back and do loads of tours. You just think, let's go mental. You know what I mean? It's like anything, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like
we would have done the same, wouldn't they?
Everyone, I agree, because at the end of the day, it's like all of a sudden you have this. It's like this freedom to do exactly what you want to do and anything you want.
On the other side of the world, and people, saying you're great and. You might as well have a good time, innit?
I agree, absolutely. Does it blow your mind sometimes? I mean, I believe it's one of the greatest songs, but in UK history, fans have voted "Live Forever" one of the greatest songs of all time.
That was my favourite tune, man.
Yeah, it's
good. I mean, it's been a lot of good tunes. I mean, it's when people go like that, say that you've wrote one of the greatest songs, and I didn't write it, but I sang on it. But there's a lot of good songs out there, so you've got to take it as a compliment, haven't you?
You really should, absolutely.
We're talking to Liam Gallagher. Wanted to ask you about how you're going to release your stuff because, now everything from when Radiohead released their album and it was pay what you think it's worth, and
not doing any of that.
Billy Corgan just releasing things digitally. And
right. We're going to be trying doing it as old school as possible. Without a doubt. I'm not down on it's each to their own. People can release how their records how they want, but I want to do it how it feels right, you know what I mean? So we'll be doing it.
The way you enjoyed music, right? Like having vinyl, having a CD, having the opportunity, and the artwork, right?
Yeah, man, the artwork's that important, isn't it?
It really is.
I hate CDs and I hate all this, but all that downloading stuff, I don't know much about it, you know what I mean? Stay clear from it, but...
Yeah, but I mean, you're...
out on vinyl without a doubt.
Your favorite albums, like Leslie's and mine, you love the fact that you could buy a record, open it up, and you could read about, hey,
the liner notes and everything.
Lyrics.
You take care of it more, though, don't you?
Yeah.
With a record, you know what I mean? You put it back in its sleeve, and away you go. With these CDs, it's just like beer mats, aren't they?
Yeah.
Do you have a vinyl collection, Liam?
Yeah, man.
How big is it?
It's pretty big.
I'm sure it is. I mean, did you go? I mean, obviously, because
I haven't bought stuff for ages and that, you know what I mean? But I bought a lot when I was first got into it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, Stone Roses. You talked about the Mondays, and there's bands up that way.
The Lads from Liverpool, they were a great band.
Love them, and that debut album is truly one of the greats.
Yeah, well, the drummer who drummed on that is drumming for us now.
Oh, really? That's great.
Just Shattuck, so...
What does he say? Does he ever see Lee Mavers anymore? I know Lee kind of...
I don't think he sees him that much. I think Lee Mavers is a bit...
He lost his mind quite a bit, right? Or was it... Yeah, he just...
They're all mad, though, them Scousers, aren't they?
Yeah, the Scousers. He's talking about the people from Liverpool. That's their... Scousers is definitely their nickname.
But nice people, but they're a bit bad.
Yeah, there you go. That's great.
Liam, when you guys first got together as a band, was it important for you immediately to conquer America because you were so big in the UK?
No, because I don't think we ever really conquered America, to be quite honest. We've done some good gigs here and good tours and that, but I don't think they took to us as much as I thought or we would have liked to. But it's time for that, you know what I mean? With the new band, there's no rush, you know what I mean? If it,
Just let it happen organically.
Yeah, I mean, you can't beg people to like you know what I mean? That's just ridiculous. But we've done some good tours here, we've done some not so good tours here, but I'm quite happy with the way it happened, you know what I mean? We played Madison Square Garden, so I'm happy with that. Yeah,
and that was a great show. We were there, and I've also got to ask you, to clear up for people that are looking back on the history of Oasis. You were starting the band with the rest of the guys. Noel had done the drummer, guitar thing with us in Spiral Carpets. How did the first meeting where you actually realized, hey, Noel, you can be in the band? Because it was your band first, wasn't it?
Well, we felt sorry for him having to plug other people's guitars in and that, you know what I mean? So we thought, yeah, come over there. The pay's not as good in that, but... come over there. So, but I knew Noel had some great songs anyway. You know what I mean? Because he'd keep me up all night with him.
Would he actually be sitting there in your house?
Sitting there playing at the end of the bed because we shared a room. So he'd be sitting at the end of the bed. I'd be sort of trying to do my own work or whatever, and he'd be writing songs. So that's And
you would look and go, wow, that's a great song. I mean, I know Columbia was the first demo that you guys had done, but what was the first song that you remember Noel writing, as before you really formed Oasis, that he might have actually used in the band?
I think it might have been Rock and Roll Star or one of them kind of early stuff, or even Supersonic. I remember we recorded Supersonic in Liverpool, and the riff and I thought, that sounds good, man. There's no one doing that at the moment. So they were good.
And the lyrics were such so much attitude in your voice. It was the greatest. I mean, it was like it was a real kick in the ass. What happened to those guys in The Real People? Any word on those guys?
All the brothers. I haven't seen them for ages. I like them though, man. They taught us quite a bit. Tony and Chris, man.
They were your friends in the beginning. I remember driving.
They're still my mates. So I haven't got no problem with anyone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
People that have been and gone, I've never had a problem with anyone.
Liam, I know a lot of your fans want to know, what do you do when you're just kicked back and, you're not working? What do you like to do?
I'm not working, just looking after the kids. I mean, I love taking my kids to school. I'm all for that. And just chilling out, man. Don't do that much. So go out for meals with the missus and that.
You watch any bad TV?
I watch all TV, yeah.
What kind of TV do you like? I mean,
there's one at the moment that's come to England. It's called Eastbound and Down and that. Have you heard of that?
Oh, it's great. It's the one from America.
With, Will Ferrell, he writes it.
Yeah, it's the one where he plays the card dealer. It's insane. I was telling you about it. The baseball player.
Awesome.
You're fucking out.
Yeah, I love that, man.
Yeah, it was genius. They're doing season 2. I just interviewed Will.
I like a bit of that. And my kids are obsessed with Family Guy and all that. Even though it's a little bit naughty for them.
Hey, it's funny. My daughter, now she's 10, but when she was 3 or 4, my ex-wife used to get mad that I was letting her watch it with me. I'm like, she doesn't understand it, but my kid would be walking around singing the theme song.
So yeah, just that kind of stuff, man.
That's cool, though.
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of music are your kids into? Maybe kids' music.
No, what do they like?
I hope you're playing them the Beatles.
Oh, they know all about that.
Yeah.
They know that before.
When
they were born listening.
Oh, yeah, they know all about that. They didn't like the gorillas and stuff. They like the cartoony stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, they know all the Beatles. You know, I have them every now and again, just quickly, you know, like, just go like, who's that there? Just point the thing and a big picture of the Beatles, and I make them, you know, line them off straight away. So I go, who's that John? And they go, John Lennon. Who's that George Harrison? Ringo's. So you just test them every now and again, make sure they're paying attention.
That's correct.
I love that little test for the kids.
You know what? That's a good.
Thinking when they're having the breakfast. Who's that there? You know what I mean? So yeah, it's good, man.
I love it.
It's a good way to win your kids. I mean,
I'd say it's fantastic. Now, you know, the other thing I had to ask you, a lot of people would love to sit and meet you and chat with you. And you're very, like, this is the first time I think you've ever done a long-form interview that I know of, except with Matt Pinfield. But have you ever met, like, one of your idols, maybe growing up, like, met somebody you really liked? And it doesn't have to be a singer that you were nervous in front of. I think we've all met someone we really wanted to meet, and then we end up...
Everyone that I've met has been cool.
Like Paul Weller, who you love from the Jam.
Paul Weller, he's mega. I mean, I met Paul McCartney when we were recording. We was in America, actually. I went to see him at Madison Square Garden. I met him for the first time, and he was cool, man.
Paul's a cool guy.
He was cool. And he was just stood there with his guitar on his neck playing, just asking us what we were doing. And that freaked me out. I met Ringo. That freaked me out. But
Ringo's a good guy, isn't he? Nice.
I mean, everyone's been cool, man. I met Neil Young. He was top. Went out for dinner with him. He took me out for dinner.
How was it with Neil? Would you talk about music together?
He played, I think, where did he play? The Royal Albert Hall. We went to see him and his wife. I can't remember his wife's name, but he said, listen, come back, we're going out for a meal. So, and we all turned up, and he just brought us in and said, order what you want. And that was it. He was cool, man.
That's really cool. Did you ask him any stuff about his music, or did you talk about anything like that?
I don't know. We're talking about buffaloes or something.
Yeah, right. Yeah, we're the buffalo roam, right? That's great. Absolutely.
Can you tell us about that show? I believe it was in Canada, and because it ended up, you guys had to cancel a show here in the States.
Oh, yeah.
When Noel got injured, yeah.
Not good, man. It wasn't good, man.
Did you know what was happening at the time?
Nah. No, it just happened. I looked round and Noel was on the floor. I thought he'd been stabbed at first. And then the geezer come out, and then there was a bit of commotion, and he got dragged off. Which is not good, man, but, you know, no one died, so we just pick ourselves up and get on with it, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. You know, it's a Canadian thing with security is kind of strange, because right around that same time, Lady Gaga or some guy whipped out his penis and wanted her to sign it at some signing. I'm like, anywhere, if it was America, he would have never even got close to be thrown, or not even near the stage with Oasis.
It'd have to be some big penis man to knock us over, man.
That's for sure. Absolutely true. Now, we're hearing you might move to New York, Liam, which I heard that. I thought that was fantastic.
Oh, look, yeah, my missus used to live in the Catskills, so my missus would drop everything in England to come here and live here. I mean, we stayed here last Christmas with the kids for 2 weeks.
Did you take them to see the tree and do everything here? And,
we went to see the Rockettes.
Oh, that's great at Radio City Music Hall.
And went to the ice skating ring and that. We just stayed up near the park and that. So we had a look at a couple of places, but I haven't found the right one yet. Saving up.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd be great. I think you'd
I like it. I like it. I like the park.
And
don't really come downtown that much, but I just got a vibe, you know what I mean? People get on with things, you know what I mean? Don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I'd love it if you moved here. We'd give you your own show here at the station.
We'd love to have you come by on a regular...
I could do with a job.
Yeah. We'd love to have you come by on a regular basis, and it'll be great, man.
Yeah, well, I'm out of work at the moment.
Debuting a cool something new and coming and playing what you love to play and the songs you're into. And
could run and get a coffee, man, for you. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, that'd be fine. We love it. You know, sometime when you come back, we love to do with you, Liam, we do a thing called a takeover where you play like 20 or like 10 or 20 of your favorite songs.
Well, yeah, man.
And you tell us why you love them. Like maybe it's like, you know, Timeless Melody by the Laws to like the Roses.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
you know, like... Yeah, we'd love to have you on because...
Next time when we've got some music out and we've got a gig here, we'll come in and do it.
We would also, seriously, if you want to debut anything with us, if you want to come and bring up your demos, whatever, we'd love to play them for you.
Yeah, anything when the record comes out, anything like that, man, we're like, the door's open, Liam. We love you, man.
Well, thanks a lot. I'll definitely take you up on it, man.
Now, where can we get your clothes? Because, I want to outfit Pinfield.
Yeah, we haven't got it. It's on the internet at the moment, but I think we're looking at some stores over there or like little boutique shops and that.
Yeah.
Which would be good.
That'd be really cool. Well, I know a lot of places that would love to carry it.
Yeah.
Right?
It's good, man. It's going all right.
I look forward to seeing it. I'm going to go. Is there a website people can go to check it out?
Website, yeah.
Is it www.prettygreen.com here and .co.uk
there you go.
as well?
How long are you?
I don't know much about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know exactly. We'll definitely try them both. I think it's a good idea.
How long are you in the city?
Here till Thursday. We'll leave Thursday night. Got to do this. Is it Kieran Fallon?
Yeah.
Fallon show.
Yeah,
Jimmy
Jimmy Fallon.
You're doing here.
Fallon,
Yeah. Hey, by the way, you tell Andy I said hello. I mean, I don't even remember. I had dinner. I remember when he was in Ride. We went out to dinner one night.
His wife, remember Ida?
Yeah. Absolutely. He's a good man.
Well, next time we're here, we'll bring them all in.
That would be awesome.
Bring him.
This is what we do now with a band that ain't just me. You know what I mean? It's a good band vibe. So
yeah, I'm excited about it. And I want to meet the guy from the Laws because that debut album killed me.
Chris, he's very small, man. I have to pick him up. He's smaller than you. We'll have to pick him up. Put him on there.
Yeah, we'll put him right up here like a little kid. Don't you love that whole Laws album, like "Son of a Gun" and "Feeling"? All those songs. Looking Glass is genius, man. Yeah. And I love Timeless Melody because I feel it, those. Yeah, it's a shame Lee Mavers. Yeah, it was funny because he complained about the production, but I thought the production was great that Lily White did.
Singing, didn't
he? Yeah,
and all that stuff. But that's what people are like. That they get a bit too obsessed with it.
Yeah,
it's got attitude and the tunes sound good. Then put it out and stop sitting on it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. You drive yourself crazy overthinking it, right? Overanalyzing it.
It takes them 5 years to make records. Shouldn't be in the music business if it takes you 5 years to make records, you know what I mean?
No, I agree.
You're banging one out every year, what's the use?
Yeah, I mean, look at the bands that we loved, the bands from the 60s. Stones, exactly. Beatles, Who, Kinks. They had a new album out every 5 months.
That's what done my head about Oasis, really, you know what I mean? I was planning on having 5 years off and stuff like that. It's like, come on, man, I'm not getting any younger. We've got music, let's make music. It's all right having a couple of months off. You need a break, and I think people need a break from you, but I didn't make music to sit at home, you know what I mean? I want to get out there and play music until, you've got to take it while it's hot, haven't you?
You absolutely do. Plus, people want to hear you, so, I mean, there's definitely, there's a desire and a need in fans.
So, Liam, when will we hear some new music?
Right, the album's going to be done. I'm planning on getting it done by June.
June?
So I'd like to have a tune out in October or something, around about that time.
Great.
That would be great.
We'd love to have you up to debut.
And then leave that for Christmas. Put another one out after Christmas, like the end of January, and then then the album in the summer.
That's great.
It's got a summery feel to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I can't wait to hear. You have any song titles you can tell us about yet? Or?
I don't want to say anything. They all start shouting at me back in England and all like that. Going, don't be saying too much over there.
All right. Yeah.
Well, let us debut it. We would love to here in New York.